Where would this team be without Joao Plata?
Well, I think the team would be in a similar position. Obviously, it's not about one individual for sure, but Joao is playing at an extremely high level. Every game, he's being consistent. Obviously I love balls going in the back of the net, but I really appreciate his work on the defensive side as well, whether it's helping out with a defensive midfielder or chasing back an outside back. So he's playing at an extremely high level right now.
On that same note, you were the guy who wanted to sign Luke in the offseason, and you had scouted him for a while. Did you know that he would be able to have this type of impact?
It's never an exact science, that's for sure. You just put in the man hours watching somebody play, and you know the system that you play, and then you factor in character. And Luke, has it all. He's got that fighting spirit. He's a perfect two-way midfielder, even though he played. Pretty much attacking mid for Tampa Bay. He had all the characteristics to be a two-way midfielder. But you never know. But it's a credit to him. It's a credit to his teammates to welcome him into the team, and he's really adapted amazing.
It seemed that first half Plata had several just near misses. Did you sense at halftime and talking to him or anything that he just had that smile on his face like he knew it was going to come if he just stayed active?
Well, that's what we talked about at halftime was really that the quality of the final ball. That's going to lead to a better finish for the forwards or whoever is getting on it. And I thought it was who played on the ball? I can't remember who played on the ball, but for Joao's.
Mulholland assist.
Okay. It was an excellent ball from Luke, and an excellent finish from Joao. But, we just said we're knocking on the door, and we felt we were going to get stronger as the game went on, and we did.
Jeff, could you talk about how you thought Luis played today, playing in for Javi?
I thought it was a really solid performance. He played I believe he played 90 minutes on Tuesday, and then to turn around and play 90 again, shows that he's being able to contribute for the entire game. I thought they did a good job of kind of closing him off and with Pineda and Alonso, but he kept moving, he kept plugging, and it was a beautiful ball from him on the goal, and he's really starting to turn up his game.
And you think teams are going to pay more attention to Joao on corners these days?
Yeah. Again, we spoke about it last week against D.C. We're doing a really good job. We're getting excellent service. We're getting excellent committed runs. And then sometimes there's a little element of surprise, people showing up in different spots. It was a great finish.
How much did the last game in Seattle play into this game in terms of psyche? Does that play in at all? Do you notice anything with increased resolve?
We really weren't concentrating on that. We were just concentrating on getting 3 points at home. Obviously you want to try to, throughout the year, win each series that you play with the teams. You want to come out ahead on, we're playing Seattle twice there, once here. Right now it's tied up. We want to make sure we go there and get a result or possibly win, hopefully win. But if you win every series, you're going to end up doing pretty good at the end of the year. So it was just a great way for us to get 3 points, get in the hunt of the Supporters Shield, and be in first place for a little while.
Can you talk a little bit about your forwards and how they're able to work off of each other as they're getting more accustomed to each other?
Yeah, I think they are getting accustomed to each other. They're starting to recognize when one does one thing, the other is going to be doing something else, and they're. All four of them right now are creating a nice little partnership with each other. So I hope that continues. In the spirit of the team and the forwards and the midfielders right now is fantastic. So we want to continue with that.
Jeff, I know earlier this year there were some games that you guys didn't close them out. A game like this, how much does what you learned in those other games actually pay off and help you? And did you kind of see that out there in the closing 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt, we always talk about learning from our mistakes, learning even from doing things positive. What are we doing well? What are we doing wrong? How do we finish out games? How do we start games? And I thought the first half was very workmanlike on both sides. We were kind of feeling each other out. But we knew we were going to get stronger. We wanted to keep pressing them, keep staying on top of them, and try to punish them when we had those chances. But as far as finishing out the game, people like Cole Grossman, when they can slide in next to Kyle and kind of change shape and lessen the load on Kyle a little bit towards the end of a game is always positive. And then when Robbie Finley comes on and, puts in a tremendous amount of work up top, it's all coming together right now, and I think we are learning from our mistakes and getting stronger.
Is there anything in particular? I mean, you're unbeaten through 6 games now, and what was a 10-point deficit? Now you're up by a point. Anything that you can point to that's made the difference in the last half dozen games?
I think it's just commitment to both sides of the ball. We obviously wanted to get back to getting shutouts after we had a stretch where we didn't have a few. That game against Colorado really helped out, where we could just buckle down and just play defense, since we had the goal to get the lead. And then from that, building offensively. And right now it's clicking.
Was Javi close at all to playing today, or did you kind of know yesterday he wasn't going to play?
Yeah, I mean, I had a feeling yesterday he wasn't going to play. He made several efforts to try, but something just wasn't right. And this weekend he's going to take off, and we'll reevaluate him on Monday or Tuesday. But I know he's gutted not to be out there, and it's great that we got the 3 points without him and for him.
You guys have been gunning for Seattle for the last couple months. Now that you're on top, leading the Supporter Shield race, leading the West, do you go about things a little differently, knowing everyone's gunning for you now? I mean, the last 10 games of the season come against a West opponent. You guys don't play the East again.
Yeah, I know we talk about it all the time, but these games are really 6-pointers the rest of the way. And you can really start putting your some distance between other teams. Obviously, right now we are 6 points ahead of Dallas. Is that right? That's an important game. It's a massive game because there's less and less games available to play. But I think guys are starting to smell it, and feel it, and I think right now it's about getting our bodies right, making sure we recover as best as we can. It's going to be a hot game in Dallas, and making sure we're fresh and focused on a very dangerous team.
A lot of teams, when they're up 2-0, they get scored on, they start falling back on their heels. Are you pleased with the team's response, getting up and not allowing Seattle to get a second goal?
Yeah, I'm definitely pleased in them not getting a second goal, but there's coaching points on the goal that they scored, because at that point in time they weren't really penetrating us. They weren't really putting too much danger on our goal, and we can't gift them a goal. I felt like that goal was gifted a little bit, so there was a few errors on it. But then after that, the guys regrouped, which I'm really pleased with, and I thought they gutted it out.
Anything else?
Just, do you anticipate Javi being available next Friday?
Chris, I'm not sure, brother. He was improving, but he wasn't improving like greatly. So I'd anticipate he's going to be more involved next week, and I sure hope so. But I'm not sure. I'll tell you for sure when I know.